But no. The small, wizened woman sits behind the counter at rare books and maps.
It was her!
And squints over her half-moon spectacles. You described to her the theft from the museum. Yes, I might be able to help you with that, dear. I was asked by one of the junior curators of the museum to set aside several tomes of ancient mythology for him. He wanted to conduct additional research and make his latest exhibits ring with authenticity. You ask about the bowl that was taken from the museum, and the woman nods and pulls out a slim pamphlet titled from... I'm going to go with Narcotis to present.
With love.
Yeah, from Narcotis to present. That is what was taken then. They didn't tell me. Well, see here. That bowl is a Kothka? How do you say Chotha?
I try not to.
Yeah.
Say it.
Kthotha? Kthota birthing dish from Central Europe, dating all the way back to the Crusades. She shows you a bowl with hand-drawn pencil sketch of a bowl. No, she shows you a page with a hand-drawn pencil sketch of a bowl. It says here that the bowl is used in tribal ceremonies of certain depraved Germanic sects. It's used to hold or protect a new life brought into this world through birth. Strange, it doesn't look big enough to hold a baby.
But a seedling chest baby.
It was a cat!
It was the cat.
Baby cat.
Can you read the bit where it's about the pamphlet?
I'll spell it for you. She pulls out a slim pamphlet from Pnakotus.
From what?
Narcotis? No. Pnakotus.
Pnakout.
Otus.
OTU. What?
Narcotis.
This is not a real word.
Narcotis to present.
Pancakes.
From pancakes to present, yeah.
The present. Pamphlet.
And then that's where she reads about the Chotha.
I mean, it told us
Or
something,
fungus.
but it's not going to lead us. It doesn't lead us anywhere really. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a bowl for a ritual.
Fucking Armitage is just sitting there going, I can't believe those idiots didn't go to the cafe. She spoke about the cafe.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, so yeah,
am I lead investigator now?
Yeah, back to you.
Is it the afternoon?
yeah.
It is going to be the afternoon.
Can you just read me quickly again what she said about the church, please, Barry, at the start?
Going back in time.
The C11, the first location we went to.
Only at Greyfriars. But no, not there. The trees. Why are they walking? Edward? Where is my Edward? Why is... The trees have eyes. Edward, we were supposed to meet at the bell. Why are we here? Edward, it hurts, Edward. Stop it. Stop it.
And then where was Edward's house?
He was F16, was he?
Sounds about
Yeah,
right.
F16. So Edward's house is up here somewhere. Yep.
The church. I think we should go to the church.
Couldn't hurt. Yeah.
Give me a number.
So what was the church?
It's under abandoned churches.
Abandoned churches.
F something
It
or
is.
other.
F14.
F14. Brayfriars Church has clearly been abandoned for some time. There are a number of vagrants clustered around an oil drum fire. One man spits menacingly onto the fire, eyeing you with one good eye. You mingle with the vagrants, and eventually they open up. You describe the woman who was injured, and they tell you that a woman matching her description came by earlier with charitable gifts of food and clothing. I believe her name was Martha, the one-eyed man sputters. I didn't get a good look at her face, on account of my one good eye. That's it.
Well,
I feel like I've gone back in time there.
yeah.
Okay, well, obviously we need to progress. So you're lead
Yeah.
investigator. Let's go see Ingram.
I guess Ingram, yeah.
Yeah, that's our only good lead left.
N34.
Well, unless we look into these witch cults, but that's probably going to nothing. We don't really know how.
The Bancroft Arms Hotels is the kind of establishment you wouldn't associate with a visiting academic. It is strange to you that someone of apparent high standing at the Boston Museum would be willing to hang his hat in such a cheap hotel.
See, now that would have been useful to know. I mean, I feel like we would have known that. You know, like I feel like we would have known that the Bancroft Arms was a shitty place. But I thought it sounded quite fancy.
But you're a visitor too.
Oh, that's true. Maybe we don't know that.
This sad face has got an eye punch.
We only have single beds, 90 cents a night.
90 cents, complete rip.
Yeah, hold on, I missed a sentence. Stepping into the poorly lit lobby, you ring the bell. It is answered eventually by a sweating man in a stained shirt. Without looking at you, he snorts and pushes the ledger in your direction. We only have single beds, 90 cents a night. You push aside the ledger and ask him about Victor Ingram. He protests about the anonymity of his clientele, and you slam your palm down violently on the desk, insisting you're a friend of Victor's, there to retrieve his belongings. This simple intimidation tactic has the desired effect, and he tosses you a passkey and mutters, "Room 29, why don't you clean up the mess while you're up there?" Room 29's in such a state that it must have been vacated in a hurry. You search every nook and cranny, and under the mattress you find a sheaf of notepaper. The paper seems to be text hand-copied from a book. You find page after page of neatly copied entries. The pages describe a ritual of the cult of Shub-Niggurath, a very gruesome act to bring spawn into our world, using a grain of seed consumed by a human. Once the spawn is incubated in the host, it will eventually be cut free and released. The host is then sacrificed, and the blood of the victim used to nourish the spawn. A few of the pages reveal sketches of artefacts used in the ritual. You suppose a museum curator may know something about these drawings. Right, nap time.
So we've got one more action or two?
Two.
I really don't. I mean, it feels like we've not learned anything new for the past day, really.
Yeah.
You can just call it there.
It feels like we could have called it like then and not.
But we don't get any bonus points for calling it early, do we?
We do actually.
Yeah, well, you lose points for going to more places.
I mean, it's like, is there any more to learn?
Well, yeah, because we don't really know who's responsible.
Edward.
Oh. I mean, if this is the whole thing and we've known about
I think
it...
we've been kind of assuming there's been more to learn, but it really feels like it is like just, yeah, he fed her a seed, cut the thing out, and he stole, got the bowl to birth this young.
Yeah, I feel like maybe I've been trying to build up to some grand...
Yeah, if we're looking to find the actual cult itself or something.
Yeah.
And maybe there is something, but...
But maybe also this is part of the way it builds into an ongoing campaign.
Yeah, I mean, it feels...
But now we're metagaming again. See, I don't know, I was thinking like, I don't know, because I was thinking like we would discover who was at fault, or like who, like I felt like Edward must have been some kind of...
He was like part of this thing.
Yeah, or he was like some kind of like minion,
Yeah.
Or like maybe like now the important clue here is that they need the blood of the woman.
Yeah, which they haven't
got. So then we have to rush back to the hospital to save her, which is obviously not going to happen.
And that's probably more likely to, I guess, something. It's like as part of the resolution of the whole thing. It's like but.
And then they said but they also said a museum curator might know more about these notes. So
yeah, I mean, but we didn't get the notes as an item, did we?
No.
So
we haven't got any items. But I wonder if...
So there's no point in going back to the museum. We
No, I
could
was
maybe
thinking-
go to the guy's home. But
Yeah, I was wondering if we went to see Jedry now and we had these notes, would that have changed that?
if we had the notes, it would make sense, but we don't have the notes.
Oh.
So
yeah.
we would just be
leave them
going to the
there.
same generic talk.
I don't understand why we're going around discovering all these clues and
And
picking
just
up
leaving,
nothing.
it's like, oh yeah, let's just leave all this cultist shit in this dickhead's basement. It's like, we're just like, oh yes.
Oh,
we
here's
know
that
what's going
ritual ball that was stolen that
on.
nobody...
Oh, here are these evil seeds that will spawn demons. Ah, let's leave those there.
Leave those in the
Let's
house
eat
of the
them
evil.
for safekeeping.
I'm hungry. Oh, no,
nom,
no. Oops. Oh, no.
We can do two more things.
I mean, I feel like at this point, there's not much harm in doing two more things.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to get a particularly high score because of, cat chasing and that kind of thing. Anyway. It will get Barry to feel even more superior for his masterful score.
17 points wasn't that good. It's better than you're getting, but...
I think anywhere we go to, because it was so far back, it's not likely to teach us anything. I mean,
Well, do you want to call it there then?
I don't know. I just don't. So the options we still have open are. I mean, we're going back a fair way to find a different path. So we're talking about the witch cults, but I don't know how we'd find out about that.
Well, we could go to the witch house, but furthermore, how would that even help, really?
Well, exactly. It's like, well, it's going to. Oh yeah, Shub-Niggurath cults. They do this stuff with seeds and bowls.
Yeah,
right.
they grow the babies inside people's chests and then harvest them.
We've got no. Did we find anything about? I mean,
We
these
don't.
things aren't going to be like us going to confrontations with the main evils.
There's no fighting. I keep
No,
expecting there to be some kind of like conflict, and there's just not.
Well, there's no way of resolving conflict, is there?
Yeah.
Well, no, but I mean, it'd be like so choose your own adventure. Like, do you attack them with the dagger, or do you not do that? Do you run away? But the other thing is like the one thing that we haven't actually got is well, actually we do I suppose. I mean, the only link we've actually got between Shub-Niggurath and Edward Hartwell is that there were seeds in his basement.
the seeds and the bowl, which is used in Shub-Niggurath rituals.
Yeah, but that bowl, as we learned from Rare Maps and Books, is just a generic sort of birthing bowl for evil things. And yeah, I know, but she just said, evil stuff. But also that we don't know that those are the Shub-Niggurath seeds. We just found some seeds that we thought looked suspicious. Shub-Niggurath.
And what we should have actually been doing is following up on the Nyarlathotep case, but yeah.
Look, I'm just saying. It all seems very.
But also, with 2 actions remaining, I
just don't think that we've got.
We could maybe find one more thing and follow it down, but it feels like a lot of the ones we didn't tie off were from far enough back that they're just like the church. They're just going to tell us something we already know.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I don't. So the.
Yeah, I mean.
So calling it or going somewhere else.
I mean, you're lead investigator for this one, so if there's somewhere you want to explore, then
Look, I'm just going to throw it out there.